to Tidbits. This is our show about reproducing historical, culturally significant, and just plain interesting food and drink recipes from across the galaxy. I'm Dava Singh. I have
Darth Imperia.
And our bartender.
I am Princess Annalisa.
Welcome to our show. We really hope you enjoy it. Today, we're going to be making
glow blue noodles with chav. It's a recipe, might be a little bit of a throwback for some of you out here, as it was popularized just before the outbreak of the Clone Wars by Chef Gourmanda, who was part of the HoloNet Daily News. It is a dish that is famous and well beloved because it is totally modular. It can be adjusted to anyone's tastes. The noodles can be cooked as they are liked, more crunchy or softer, and it can be done with meat or without meat. Today we'll be doing it with meat, with Nerf meatballs.
Don't worry, because the recipe and its interpretation will be on the show notes here on Beery Good Entertainment.
Absolutely. May the Force free you. This particular recipe is exceptionally modular. It can be suited to anybody's tastes. Normally it's vegetarian, but it can be altered to include meat of any kind that you might like.
Right! I'll go get the Womp Rat!
No,
Wait.
no,
Wait.
no Womp Rat.
What are
No
we going to use if we
Womp
don't use Womp Rat? Nerf? How about Nerf? Why don't you use Nerf?
I know some Nerfers.
Are they scruffy
Really?
looking?
Yeah, but they pull it off. So now, without further ado, the recipe for the glow blue noodles and chav that we're going to do this evening. It calls for
Data pads at the ready.
data pads at the ready. It calls for 3 large conewares,
These are parsnips.
peeled and cut into relatively thin diagonal slices. 1 bunch spring kelto,
We used leeks.
trimmed and chopped into large chunks. 1 milkened tuber.
Oh, it's over there.
It's
Sorry,
right
it's in
here.
the dishwad.
Ah.
The dish.
1 milkened
Beautiful milkened tuber.
Now,
peeled, quartered lengthwise, and seeded. We have not yet peeled and
Or
quartered
quartered
and quartered this again to get it into nice little 2-inch chunks, but we will when we get to that point in the recipe.
to milken the acorn squash, and you don't have to use acorn squash. There are a number of other squashes that you can use, including butternut or spaghetti squash. Just make sure you scoop out the insides, either boil it or steam it, and then it will be easy to peel.
Yes. Stay out for a bit. I'll get back over in my corner. TLTR noodles.
We use soba noodles, and you can actually use your homemade soba noodles if you wish. For the sake of time, we decided to make the pre-made noodles.
Absolutely. Ground nut oil.
It's pretty self-explanatory, but peanut oil or olive oil will work just as well.
1 large dabaroo. Peeled, dethorned. Peeled and finely sliced.
We had quite a discussion over this. The dabaroo that we originally chose was ginger, but because of the way we're cooking, we had to change that. So we finally wound up discussing kohlrabi. But when we went to the store, there wasn't any, because generally it's only found in spring. So we decided on a plantain.
Yes, we did. But we'll see how that works out. The next part of the recipe are 2 cloves of shadoon, peeled, dethorned, crushed, and finely chopped.
This was an interesting one. We found black garlic. This is something I've never seen before. This is actually fermented garlic, isn't it?
Yes, it is fermented garlic.
it's-
It's gorgeous and it smells amazing.
It's been fermented for weeks with various spices. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's nutty. It's just a little bit sweeter than regular garlic.
But if you can't find black garlic, regular garlic will work just as well.
Absolutely. Then we have
Oh, it smells so good.
1 firebud, seeded.
You can use the firebud of your choice.
We used a habanero from our garden. Sorry. 60 milliliters of steam distilled chav. Now, the chav that I'm using here is a bourbon cream sauce that I've made.
Which smells amazing, by the way. Really, really
Let me
amazing.
grab a
Really amazing.
It's just waiting for us to. Oh yeah, you're gonna get it a little closer so people can see it.
It does take quite a while.
It's utterly, utterly delicious. It's just waiting for its time in the recipe. And finally, at the very end of the recipe, we will be sprinkling it with some calorantrum seeds.
We chose black sesame seeds for this. If you can't find black sesame seeds, white sesame seeds might work.
Absolutely, so it's just a beautiful little textural addition at the end.
Absolutely. Any type of small seed that you can sprinkle over the top for that extra texture and beauty will absolutely work.
And since we're doing this recipe with meat, with Nerf balls,
So we made a beautiful Nerf meatball.
Mhm. What I actually did was take bison meat, about a cup of panko, Italian seasoned panko, fresh sage, fresh oregano, and
Salt and pepper.
and
just a little shaved Parmesan.
shaved Parmesan, and I also put in some onion, some minced onion, and we seared all that in
Bacon fat.
Mhm.
Just to give it a little bit of extra, because your Nerf doesn't have a whole lot of fat in it. So you want to make sure that it holds together.
and she seared it. She put together those beautiful sized and seared them beautifully.
Remember, Nerf, bison is probably the closest that you will find to Nerf. We know you can't always find bison easily in a store.
Sometimes it's not cost effective.
That's right. So, equal amounts of pork and beef will work,
Absolutely.
and even pork, chicken, and beef will work if you want to use it ground.
Yeah.
Although if you really don't have a thing with ground beef, you could use perhaps sliced pork.
You could even use a ground turkey if you were really not wanting to go into the red meat territory.
Absolutely.
Leave. What we're going to do after all the noodles are cooked and the chav is ready,
And chav is ready.
we will heat the oil, and then
Yes, we're going to heat the oil and toss in
the shadoon
shadoon
and the
and the
dabaroo.
the
Dabaroo.
And the
Now the
dabaroo.
shadoon and the dabaroo, we'll fry those for 4 to 5 minutes, and should turn blue at that point.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's the thing about the dabaroo. It's got a phosphor that will actually glow blue as it is being heated. And you know that it's done when it goes from a brighter blue to a deeper, more royal blue.
then we are going to add the conewares
You're going to add the conewares
and the kelto
and the kelto
and firebud.
and the firebud. Oh, you want to do it?
Yep. Yeah, firebud.
Firebud.
And we're gonna fry it for at least another 6 minutes.
Yep.
And last of all, we're going to add the milk-and tuber.
Which is behind.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to cover
Dicing.
that and steam for 2 minutes. Then we're going to add the chav and the meatballs and the noodles, and we're going to toss it all together, and it'll be ready to serve.
That's right.
With a little sprinkling of the calorantrum seeds on top. We'll be sure to take good pictures so you can see how this masterpiece turns out.
Yep.
So I'm going to show you how to make blue milk, also known as bantha milk, or the blue milk of Tatooine. People have been drinking this in Tatooine for quite some time. It can be used in ice creams, in yogurts, but I just like to drink it. So it's really, really nice. Key ingredients. Bantha milk. That's what gives it that beautiful blue color. Just give it a really nice stir. Let's get it all mixed up properly. You can also shake it, but I won't be able to because I have the wrong size. Princess?
I don't know.
Or I can fail. That happens too sometimes.
There's no failure.
There is no failure. There is only alcohol.
It tastes very nice.
Oh, bantha milk. Where's one for everybody else?
I'll keep going. I can make more. It's easy to make more.
It's actually really nice and boozy. Super nice and boozy. This is
I
a
just
good
heard alcohol.
This is a good breakfast drink. Absolutely.
Yeah, we serve with every breakfast.
Before you get out there looking for your nerfs.
Yes. This is an exceptionally good drink for nerfers. Because God knows they need something in their lives.
And of course, there wouldn't be any point to all of this unless we had beer. What kind of beer do we have today?
We have the closest thing that we could get to Wookiee beer, Kashyyykian bitter berry beer.
Is it actually made with berries?
It's made with bitter berries.
Oh, wow. Well, if you can't find Kashyyykian bitterberry beer, probably the closest that you might find here on Earth is Santium's Bramble On. So we're going to try that out and see how Kashyyykian bitterberry beer
might taste.
And here. And here.
Nice.
I'm pouring a rather forceful head on it.
Oh, you can really hit the raspberry. I mean, you can tell
really smell the berry.
that your bitter berry is in here.
And always, we never forget our producer. Now, before we continue on, I'm going to propose a toast because one of our number is actually in Florida tonight. Lola, we really hope that you are safe and that your mom's doing great and Clark and your whole family is safe and that you're dry and that you have power really soon.
Yes.
To Lola.
To Lola.
Ooh.
This is one of the better kind of berry beers that I've had, actually.
Berry is
It's
extremely
forward. It's extremely forward, but it's not too sweet. It doesn't overpower it.
Yeah, do we know what kind of hop Santium used in this? Because there is a very nice bitterness to it.
Mm-hmm.
And this bitterness really is raspberry?
This one actually I think has a 35 or 40 IBU, which is,
wow,
because it's
I'm
actually
impressed.
a raspberry pale ale rather than a wheat.
Oh, okay, yeah. Raspberry and bitter do go really well together.
I think we could look up hops, but I don't often on that.
Well, Santium's pretty good with hops. They have a very light hand where hops are concerned. Well, give it a try. Your Kashyyykian bitterberry
beer.
Bitterberry beer.
I know. Say that 3 times fast.
And it's odd because it's pretty much the only berries that Wookiees eat.
Yeah,
Or drink.
Well, Wookiees are carnivores, but fermenting meat is really not a good idea.
No, not at all. So, share this beer with a Wookiee in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can't have a Star Wars show and not invite the guest of honor. Lord Vader, we salute you. This is Gilgamesh's CDA, which you also might know as Black IPA. This is 6.4%. And I know that Beer 30 here in Corvallis has carried it. I got this from Market of Choice. You might also get it at your local brewing supply store. Ours is Corvallis Brewing Supply. Hi, Joel. And
certainly at the Gilgamesh Brewing.
And certainly at Gilgamesh Brewing, which everybody should go and visit.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, there's a nice little piece of mist. That's pretty intimidating.
Well, as
Vader
Vader
should
is.
is. Especially CDAs. CDAs can be ferocious.
Thank you.
What I love about the smell of CDAs is you get that roasty kind of.
I'm going to pour our producer's glass before I pour my own.
Awesome.
I recognize the smell of CDAs as soon as I walked into the station.
The combination of that beautiful dark malt with floral hop aroma.
Absolutely. The coffee is not as strong in the aroma as the taste.
It's definitely there in the taste, though.
But yeah, when you get it in the taste, it it wraps itself around your teeth, like the bitter coffee type taste.
Well, and the hops, it's the hops. To a certain extent, it's very hoppy. It's almost like an IPA in that sense. It's very bitter. It's beautiful.
Very, very excellent. Great job, Gilgamesh.
Alright, so now that I've got my groundnut oil nice and hot, I'm going to add my dabaroo and my shadden cloves. Beautiful, beautiful color. And we're just going to cook these for a few minutes. Four to 5 minutes is usually good for your dabaroo. I don't know if that's enough.
As much as you want to use. If you want to use the whole thing,
Yeah, I need more. You think that's good, or should I try to get a little bit more blue on all of them?
I think that's good.
Oh no, that's beautiful. That is really
Oh wait,
beautiful.
oh I need to see the blue. Actually, there's one that doesn't have any blue on it. Oh, look at that, it's gorgeous.
Dabaroo is supposed to be blue too.
Oops, wrong one. So yes, so now we can start it. The blue, so now we've got our dabaroo looking nice and blue and beautiful as we cook it. It glows blue when you cook it. And as you can see, as you continue to cook it, that blue deepens, becomes a little bit more of a royal color rather than a bright blue. And it smells amazing too. Combination of those two is that's this wonderful, rich, like savory, sweet flavor. Yeah, there we go. Now we want to add our conewares, our celto, our firebud, and we're going to continue to saute this beautifully for another 6 minutes. Our nerf balls, efficiency, beautiful. 100%. Our droid does not have 100% efficiency.
I should have gone with Troika.
Should have gotten a new droid. Said we had to get one off those little. What were those things called?
See, everything's getting a beautiful blue color to it, which I love. But the dabaroo is definitely the bluest. I'm just keeping an eye on time here. So I know how long I've sauteed everything.
Well, those noodles are gonna get like, or the meatballs in that big mop.
We might
That's
have
hot.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that the conewares are actually going to get cooked. It's another 3 minutes, so.
Please don't forget that left front is really hot.
It is? Oh yeah, it's on 6. I was wondering why all that heat was coming up toward my elbow.
When you mix the drink on camera, mix the glass when you pour, and pew, pew, pew. I could do that. I could totally do that.
Who said that?
Oh, Sabrina. That was...
Oh, yeah.
Sabrina. Oh, missed the glass when you pour. Sorry.
No problem. Just trying to keep track of stuff. Seriously, someone should take a picture of this. It's gorgeous.
I did.
You did? It's like right now? It's so beautiful. It actually looks like what it's supposed to be. I'm sorry, Chad. I keep stepping on it. I'm just hoping, as I said, that the conewares are going to be done. They're still feeling pretty firm. Everything else feels lovely.
Let's remember that the milk and tuber is pretty much falling apart.
Yeah. Well, okay, that's good. So now the milk and tuber goes in.
This down a little bit, maybe.
Oh, cover.
You want it up that hot?
And cook for 2 minutes.
I see your Schwartz is as big as mine. Fantastic. Well, no Star Wars episode would be totally complete without a lovely Schwartz beer. This is, I can never ever pronounce the name of this brewery, Monkshof. Munchoff. I believe this is Munchoff Brewery. It is a beer direct from Germany. And dark beer does go really well after an entirely full meal with noodles like we've just had. We're gonna give this spicy noodles. Whoa, well, it's definitely carbonated. These people know how to carbonate beer. Let's see. I'm gonna let my head go down. I'm gonna let my Schwartz settle.
Everybody likes a little bit of head on their Schwartz.
That's right.
Thank you.
Except for you, you got a lot of head on your Schwartz.
That's the way it always seems to work out.
Alrighty.
That's beautiful. That's gorgeous pour right there.
For our
Producer.
wonderful producer. So this has been an absolutely fantastic night. Oh my! I'm sorry, German beer just makes me weak in the middle. I love German beer.
Such a amazing
Smell of
wonderful.
malt. The malt in it is deep, dark.
It smells like autumn in the dark. It smells like Halloween almost.
Oh yeah, it does.
Like a candy. Yeah, like a. Oh.
Oh, it does smell like Halloween, except with that, like, sickly... there's no sickly, sweet, pumpkin-y, spicy anything.
No, but
in
it's
it.
like a candy apple without the apple. It's like you got the caramel and
Yes.
mm.
All the...
It's really rich.
all the deep,
Wait
dark,
till you
rich...
taste it. It really is incredibly rich. Wow.
That's a fantastic beer.
I mean, it coats the palate. It is so nice.
the mouthfeel is exceptionally light because it's a lager, but the all the flavor.
Yeah, the flavor is massive.
It's intense. It's packed. It's like a bourbon barrel almost. I mean, it's not bourbon, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, this says the original black beer. Literally all it is black beer. I believe it's a lager.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Schwartz beer should be a lager.
And that's why you get that really light in the back.
Yeah.
But in the front of your mouth, it's just completely packed with, like,
And it was brewed according to the Bavarian purity
dark
law
malt,
of 1516.
a little bit of chocolate, a little bit of
chocolate. There we go. That's what I taste. Chocolate.
and maybe a little bit of coffee too.
So yeah, this goes really well for after almost any meal, I think. But especially after noodles, where it's heavy, it's a really thick, rich meal. And then you want something that kind of tastes like chocolate, really rich afterwards, but
The
you
other
don't
thing
want it
is,
to overwhelm you.
the other thing is that dark beer is actually the best beer to drink while you're having something spicy, because it does actually handle the spice better than any other beer.
I did not
Like, you
realize
would think
that.
it would be like a light beer, but actually dark beer helps. That is the best.
I can see that.
I can see that because the deep caramel would tame the fire of, tame the fire of the bud.
It's certainly doing
Fire
it for
bud.
me.
Tame the fire of the bud.
Certainly doing it for me.
And so how would everybody rate dinner on, let's say, a 1 to 5 scale? Well, Alexa sure liked it.
Alexa loved it. All right, I'll start. I'm gonna give it a 4.
Right Star is a feature of children's products.
I think it was amazing.
Alexa, stop. I'm sorry, my droid is out of control. Please continue, Princess.
I think it was amazing. I liked everything about it. I thought, in the future, I might suggest adding something a little fattier into the Nerf balls because they were just a little dry. But the noodles were perfect. The chab was perfect. Everything just came together and just made an absolutely gorgeous bite. Really nice.
I think I'd agree with that. I'd agree with a 4. Because I too would add something fattier to the meatballs. And maybe cook them for maybe 5 minutes less.
Good.
Yes. But I really loved the noodles and the sauce. Even if I had nothing else. The noodles and the sauce alone. That chab was wonderful.
It was
absolutely wonderful.
yes.
I'm going to completely agree with the 4 rating, and I have slightly different reasons, but because I really enjoyed the meatballs. I really enjoyed the Nerf meatballs, but I thought, and I think that some of the dryness that we ended up getting out of them actually came from the fact that we didn't have eggs. I usually use eggs as a binder with meatballs, and I think if I had 2 eggs for that 2 pounds of meat, they would have actually come out nice and tender, and that would have solved our problem without adding any kind of fatty meat. But I also think that there needed to be more chab. I didn't make enough. I'd like it to have coated the noodles a little better and added a little bit more of a prevalent flavor, because because it was extremely, extremely tasty.
Absolutely.
But
I'm not
it was
gonna
wonderful.
disagree with that. More chav is better.
But I was unbelievably pleased with the way that all the flavors came together because I didn't know what a lot of the stuff was going to taste like.
Right. I mean,
There were 2 ingredients that I'd never cooked with before, and I was brilliantly pleased with both of them. So
I was pretty uncertain about the dabaroo.
yeah,
you know, the dabaroo
was
actually was
perfect.
perfect. I needed to get that get the
What was
the conewares a little
yeah, the
thinner so that
conewares.
because they didn't get cooked.
I could have done the conewares in the food processor. That might have helped, but it was still wonderful. I didn't mind a little crunch. It's okay to have a little texture.
It is, and they weren't like crunchy. They were
Just firm. Yeah.
The bigger pieces were crunchy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so take note if you try the recipe.
Yes.
You might want to get the
Use
conewares as thin as possible.
Use a mandolin
Definitely.
or a food processor or something,
careful with
and
the
just
mandolin.
get them. Yeah. Well, use your chainmail.
Use your chainmail.
Or
Or make your droid do it.
yes.
Or use the force, whatever you need to do.
That's right. Well,
Cooking with the force.
cooking with the force.
I lost a bet at dinner crew today.
Well, I totally think this was a success, and I am so pleased that both of you were here to help me enjoy it.
Absolutely. I'm so
Thank
glad
you.
that you were both here to help me cook and enjoy the food and
All the
talk
cocktails,
about wonderful
and,
beer and cocktails and all that lovely stuff. And thank you all for
Absolutely.
joining us.
Yes. Thank you so
We had a
much.
wonderful time.
Yes.
Oh,
And you
maybe
know,
you can get a kick out of it too.
and all the
Absolutely.
and all the puns and racy comments
Yep.
absolutely made it perfect.
Remember that if you haven't seen the entire of this video, the actual live, the actual version recorded live is on YouTube. Well, guys, this is very good entertainment. May the Schwartz be with you.
May the Schwartz free you.
May the Schwartz take care of you, Nerf herder.
Welcome to Very Good Tidbits. This is our show about reproducing. Oh, God.
Outtake. This recipe is exceptionally. Never mind.
Dava, some for the chav.
Are you okay?
Yes.
That was a lot.